What's going on, guys? The Comics Kid 2099 here. Welcome to day 66 of the 365-day graphic novel review challenge. Today, I wanted to take a little bit of a break from Superman and talk about something entirely different. Shadowpact, the Pentacle plot. This is a spin-off of the Day of Vengeance miniseries, which was tied in with the Infinite Crisis event that was going on about 10 years ago, and this involves some of the D and C-list level supernatural characters of the DC Universe teaming up and fighting various supernatural threats of the DC Universe. And this collects the first 8 issues of the ongoing Shadowpact series, with the exception of issue 4. I don't know why issue 4 is not collected here. Maybe it was part of a crossover that was going on and it's collected somewhere else. I don't know. But these issues here all work together to form a pretty cohesive story. It doesn't really feel like you're missing an issue that should be collected here, so that wasn't a big problem for me. And like I said, this is a spin-off of one of the ancillary miniseries that was connected to Infinite Crisis. And after Infinite Crisis, almost every book in the DC Universe jumped forward in time 1 year. So you would either have a brand new creative team, or a brand new status quo, or a brand new set of characters that you were dealing with if it was a team book. You would have something that was fundamentally different about the series. This is one of the only books that I'm aware of that actually works with the 1 year jump in time in a very interesting and unusual way. The team here, they are inside this city that is kind of domed off and trapped from escaping into the outside world. And there is this group of evil supernatural characters, these guys right here. They are going to sacrifice a certain number of people in this city for some nefarious reason. We don't really know why at the beginning, why they're doing this. And then later we find out a little bit more about what they're doing, but we still don't have the full story of why they were trying to sacrifice these people. And then the Enchantress, that's this one right here on the cover, she is able to save everyone else in the city by aging everyone in the city 1 full year. So basically, the Shadowpact team, they experience the 1 year jump in a way that none of the other characters in the DC Universe experience it. They jump forward 1 year in time, and then it's 1 year later, just like it is for the rest of the DC Universe, except for these guys, it's only been a few minutes since they went into the city to try and stop this threat from happening. I thought that was very interesting, a very unique way of handling the 1 year jump into the future, because this series had just started, and then it's like, oh yeah, we're doing a 1 year later thing, we're going to have to work around that. I thought that was a very neat and clever way to work around this. Another thing that I really liked about this, sometimes you will see if a creator wants to work with a bunch of D and C list characters, in order to make that work, they will have to throw in a couple of A-list characters to make people interested in reading the series. For example, in the 1980s, you had the Justice League comics where you had characters like Vixen and Steel and Vibe, but then you also had characters like Aquaman and the Martian Manhunter on the team to make people a little bit more interested in reading about these nobody characters that no one had ever heard of before. What I like about this series is they don't feel the need to throw in Batman or Superman to make people want to read this book. This is a whole bunch of D and C list characters, and they're just running with it, and it works very well. Now, you might argue with me, you might say, well, the Nightmaster, he's clearly not a D or C list character. I've read a bunch of comics before, and I've only read one other comic with the Nightmaster in it, and in that, he was like in his 50s or 60s, entirely different than he is here, and they actually kind of referenced that. I believe it was a Mark Millar Swamp Thing comic that he appeared in, and then here, they even referenced that a little bit, and they're like, yeah, now he's young and sexy, and he's not like he was in that Swamp Thing comic that you've probably read. So I really like that they're not just full-on retconning this character's history, they're working with the stuff that exists in the backstory for these characters. And I don't think there's anything that I disliked about this book. I really enjoyed it. You know what, let me scratch that. There is one very minor thing. So we find out in the last half of this book that these bad guys here, they were working for this ancient demon who has been sleeping under Gotham City for thousands and thousands of years. And one of these, they actually escape from the town massacre thing, and they go and they wake up the demon, and then he is like, you know what, I'm going to call myself Mr. Gotham. I'm going to name myself after this city. And we are told that the reason that Gotham is such a terrible, awful place is because of this demon. He was hibernating under where Gotham City was built, and his influence was kind of making Gotham City a really dark and twisted place. I don't like that. I think that's kind of stupid. There's been like 2 other books that I can think of right off the top of my head that have tried to explain why Gotham is such an awful place. We don't need yet another reason why Gotham is such an awful place. In theory, this demon guy is going to be the ongoing big bad of the series, so if and when the Shadowpact defeats this guy, what's your explanation going to be for why Gotham is such a terrible, awful place? That was really my one minor complaint. I think that you could have set this series anywhere else. It wouldn't even have to have been set in Gotham. You could have this this bar that the Nightmaster owns, or at least he owned it at one time, you could have it be in Coast City or Metropolis or anywhere else. You could have it be in Star City. It didn't have to be in Gotham City. That's my very minor complaint. It's not even a huge complaint, really. It does not detract from my enjoyment of this book. If you like the supernatural stuff, if you like the C and D list characters who are not quite as well known as Batman or Superman or the rest of the Justice League, then you will probably like this. Also, written by Bill Willingham, there's his name on the cover there. He is the co-creator of Fables. If you like Fables, you will probably really like this. Although, tonally, I would say this is closer to his run on Robin, which was right around this time. And I think that he even was using some of these characters in his Robin run. I know Ragman, I'm 99% sure Ragman showed up in Bill Willingham's Robin run, and he's in this book, and Ragman is awesome. He's a character that I really like. So I pretty much, without any reservations at all, recommend this book, and I am definitely going to be checking out the rest of the Shadowpact series, which I don't have at the moment, but I am interested in reading more about this series, and I'm really disappointed that we didn't get more adventures from these guys than what's out there. I know that starting with the New 52, we had Justice League Dark, which was kind of the spiritual successor to this series. It was the supernatural players of the DC Universe working together, but I did not like Justice League Dark, or at least I did not like the first volume, and it kind of makes me sad that we just didn't get more of these guys with the New 52. And with DC Rebirth, who knows, maybe. I kind of doubt it. I feel like this is a team and a series that has kind of been forgotten by people over the years, but unrightly so, because I think that it is very good. So that's about all that I have to say about Shadowpact, the Pentacle plot. I hope that you guys liked this video. If you did, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will be back tomorrow with a different kind of video. In the meantime, you guys have a great rest of the day. Catch you later.